Today on Royally Us, the Princess of Wales took a family vacation before announcing her cancer is in remission. Plus, royal author Ed Owens reveals how Catherine feels about working in the new year.
A new year, an opportunity for making a break with the recent past. Renaissance with spring.
Plus, Meghan Markle reportedly thought of a post-Harry divorce book, as Vanity Fair reports that Harry had hope he could repair his relationship with his brother. And the Duchess of York sheds light on her health journey. We've got that plus so much more in today's Royally Us. Hey everyone, and welcome to Royally Us. I'm Christina, and that's Christine, and lots of big news to get to this week.
So much news. Everyone's definitely back in the office, back to, getting to work, royal work, legal work, all sorts of stories.
Definitely. We got a big Harry update when it comes to his trial, so we'll get to that in just a minute. But before we do, let's kick it off with Prince William. He kicked off the work week with a visit to Centrepoint's Ealing Hub in London to meet young people being supported by the charity. Centrepoint is a UK charity working to support young people out of homelessness, and Princess Diana not only backed the organization as a patron, but brought her sons Prince William and Prince Harry along with her to visit and introduce them to the issue. We know that homelessness is a big issue for Prince William, and he's continuing on with Diana's legacy.
I love William's consistency in his work with Centrepoint. It really seems not every visit is really big and flashy, but he just sort of regularly goes, here's what they're up to, meets with people. It's not always sort of like a one-off flash in the pan visit. Like his work with Centrepoint, with homelessness through, Homewards, it's all consistent, which I think it really shows this is a long-term project for him. And it is sort of his top priority. But I also think for the people at these events, it's nice that it's a bit casual and relaxed. It's not sort of a big, exciting day out. It's more just him meeting with people. And I think that probably makes the visits more effective.
100%. Yeah. When they're relaxed, it sets the tone for the entire event.
Yeah, totally.
So I think well, speaking of being relaxed and ready for the new year, Princess Kate reportedly took a ski trip with her family before announcing that her cancer is in remission. The Mail on Sunday reported this. The family traveled from their home in the UK to an undisclosed location. Around Christmas, the couple and their 3 children were seen enjoying hot drinks at a mountaintop resort, so this is very exciting for them. They were reportedly joined on the trip by the Princess of Wales's brother, James Middleton. James posted photos of himself, his family, and his dog skiing at an undisclosed location to Instagram on January 9th. He wrote, "We started the new year with an adventure into the mountains. We were lucky enough to be engulfed by blue skies and cold, crisp air." A member of the restaurant staff told the Mail on Sunday that the royals looked like a normal English family, and a lot of people didn't recognize them. The staff member added that the Wales family had been coming to the restaurant for years. So glad they got a little R&R with the family before, kind of the craziness of the new year and announcing that her cancer is in remission. So I'm sure it was a lovely way to celebrate.
Yeah, this has turned into a bit of an annual post-Christmas ski trip where they usually do go with the Middletons, whether that's all of them, Carol, Pippa, James, or just, whoever can make it that year. But they tend to go not necessarily to the flashiest and most famous ski resorts, but the ones that are sort of quiet luxury where they're less likely to get spotted. But it's actually such a great idea because they're all in ski helmets, like ski suits head to toe. No one's going to recognize them. It gets everyone out together for, an annual holiday. And I love that they were able to continue this. And, that family time is so, so important to the Prince and Princess of Wales right now.
Definitely. I love this so much. And as we know, the Princess of Wales will be taking on more events throughout the year. So how is she really feeling about going to the new year? What's kind of her mindset? Well, we caught up with royal author Ed Owens, and here is what he had to say. How do you feel like obviously, I'm sure that, like she said in the statement, it is a huge relief. What do you think she's emotionally feeling right now going into this new year?
A new year, an opportunity for making a break with the recent past. Renaissance with spring, new life, new opportunities. I imagine it's, but based on what she's gone through, she's now thinking, how can she continue the good work that she was doing before? How can she ensure that the monarchy continues to evolve, that this transition from one reign to the next reign to the next reign, where she will be king, where she will be queen. Pardon me. That evolution is successful, and of course she's also got those activities, those outlets that she's cared a great deal about over the last 5, even 10 years: mental health, but more recently, early years care. I imagine she wants to get back to it and to really make something of those projects.
Well, Prince Harry is definitely happy this week because he settled his lawsuit against News Group Newspapers, which owns UK tabloid The Sun. So in a statement issued to Us Weekly, NGN said it had agreed to pay Harry substantial damages after he accused the company of unlawful information gathering for stories about him and his family. NGN also apologized for the serious intrusion into Prince Harry's private life. They issued a full and unequivocal apology to the Duke of Sussex, and they also apologized for phone hacking, surveillance, and misuse of private information by journalists and private investigators working at the now defunct News of the World, which it also owned. Well, in later news, the Duchess of York shed more light on her health journey between 2023 and 2024 in a new interview published with The Times. The Duchess reflected on the intensity of being diagnosed with breast cancer and undergoing a single mastectomy in the summer of 2023, then announcing a diagnosis of malignant melanoma, which is a form of skin cancer, in January of 2024. Obviously, this was just a 6-month span, so a lot to kind of take in that short period of time. She said, "It was hard. I'm generally a positive person, but cancer is like a bomb going off in your life. One diagnosis is enough to deal with, but I had 2 in the space of a year. I don't mind admitting that my mind went to some dark places, reflecting on my own mortality." Obviously, getting that type of news, any type of cancer news, is a lot to deal with, but 2 in the matter of 6 months. And we've talked time and time again that we think it's so great that Fergie speaks out and is kind of become a voice for this and a shoulder to lean on probably for so many people.
No, absolutely. And I'm sort of going to, reiterate that same thought, that her saying that, she's not afraid to admit that she, it was a really dark time. She faced her own mortality. She had these really dark thoughts. So many other people going through these health challenges, through cancer, through life-changing diagnoses, might hear that and be reassured by those sentiments. Because again, using these platforms to raise awareness, to share your own experience, can only, lead to good things. I think, again, she's doing a great job of continuing this conversation, because like we learned from her, like we're learning from the Princess of Wales, it's not like an in and out thing. It's not like you have your treatment and you're done. There's a whole recovery after treatment that is about, more than just the medical diagnosis.
Definitely, you're 100% right. All right, well, let's spill the royalty. And Vanity Fair came out with this very big expose about Harry and Meghan this past week, and there's a lot of bombshells that were kind of dropped in this. But let's kick it off with his longstanding feud with the royal family, and he thought that eventually everything would die down. The Duke of Sussex reportedly confided in a guest at an event in 2023 after he was asked whether he had heard from the Windsor clan following the release of his tell-all memoir, Spare. In response, Harry admitted that there's been no contact between both camps since the protocol-shattering book. A source told the publication, "That's sort of what made me so sad. His hope seemed very genuine, and I was just kind of like, oh no. The power of the written word and the power of the narrative. I don't know if that's something he understood while he was doing it." Now, the guest, who remains anonymous, suggested that the father of 2 had not absorbed the gravity of the damage the memoir had done. I kind of see that, I think, like when he was definitely doing his press tour and things like that, I don't think he really understood the magnitude that these words were going to have. I think he thought, oh, I'm just telling my story, everybody will understand. But no, there's definitely some ramifications when it comes to telling all.
100%. We saw that in so many different ways, in the way he seemed so optimistic about the book, and then actually it backfired so badly, in the way that he told stories he probably should not have told. told and revealed things that he probably should not have shared. I think that all of it really comes to this point where he did not expect it to be received in the way it was received, either from his family, from the public, and I do think a lot of people sort of looked at that thinking, oh, that's actually really sad. He's just tried to like get all this off his chest, clear his name, get his story out there, but it's had these incredible ramifications that he didn't expect.
Oh, 100%. But what caught my eye, and I think a lot of people's eye in this expose, was that Meghan Markle's team apparently floated the idea of a post-Harry divorce book to a publisher. So the whole piece kind of delved into their struggling business ventures, painting kind of a picture of a desperate couple trying to find purpose and maintain relevance after stepping away from the royal life. We've kind of talked about this numerous times. So numerous former colleagues and associates spoke with Vanity Fair for the article, including a source who claimed that Meghan's team had a conversation with the publishing house to gauge interest in a book that might center on a post-Harry divorce. The source didn't divulge the date that Meghan's team proposed the idea, nor the name of the publishing house to which it was floated around to. Vanity Fair did clarify that no written or formal proposal for the book ever came to light, while another insider disputes that the incident never occurred at all. I don't know what to believe in this situation, but the fact that Vanity Fair felt strong enough to even publish something like this, that they're a credible company and a credible a source of information. Yeah. So they must have had a pretty good source on this one.
I totally agree. And then I also think you never know what someone just sort of floats as an idea or says in passing, but that really sticks, and that would be really, I can see someone, floating ideas, a book about this, a book about this. Well, if she gets divorced, what about a book about that? Ha ha ha. And then obviously the book editor, whoever's receiving these ideas, is like, what? What did you just say? And then they'll never forget that. I think that, like we said, they've tried so many different things, sort of, not that they're grasping at straws, but they're really sort of throwing lots of things at the wall to see what sticks. We know that we know that Harry and Meghan sort of had this 4-book deal, and we've yet to see more out of that. So I don't know if maybe this was like a pitch meeting where they were really getting desperate for ideas. But like you said, Vanity Fair, they're really well respected and reputable. They've clearly got sources, but you never know when these conversations actually took place or what they look like.
No, you're so right. And this was probably not the article that they probably wanted to see. But like you said, we've talked about it time and time again, that they're still trying to figure out this place where they kind of fit in pop culture, I guess, and whether it's, the royal side, the charitable side, the celebrity side. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're trying to put their hand in everything, and I just don't know what's going to work. But we'll see what happens when her show comes out in March. I feel like that's going to be like, I feel like, but I mean, a post-Harry divorce book, I mean, that is instant bestseller.
Yes. But I do, we might be seeing a case where Prince Harry goes more into charity work and sort of flies under the radar. Meghan goes more into celebrity, Netflix shows and lifestyle blogging, and stays, well in the spotlight. They seem happily married from what, except for this post-divorce book. But honestly, you never know with them. We really, time and time again, been like, we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. So true. All right. Well, that is it for this week's episode of Royally Asked. Christine, thank you so much, as always.
Oh, this was a fun week. We're really getting into some juicy things coming up.
100%. All right. Well, everybody keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we'll see you next week.